we engaged Level 5 to do some research. We engaged a bunch of volunteers through 2 of our board members who were representative of the community, and really said, how do we move the needle and gain more supporters? There were 3 big insights that came back from the research from Level 5. One was that distrust. The new immigrants were not trusting charities, especially because of the scandals in China, and how would we need to do a better job of being transparent and accountable for money, and where the money and how the money was spent at SickKids. The second one was around the lack of personal connection. We just didn't have a real sense of community, and I think exactly what you're saying is that we weren't engaged in the community. We weren't where the community was. We were representing the community in our activities. We weren't geared towards those insights and those activities that people really wanted to engage with us. And then the third was we weren't using the right modes of communication. And so those were really the 3 big things that we have been working on over the last couple of years. I think we still have a lot of work to do, but we've really looked at how is our communication being more trustworthy, talking very directly about where this money is going to go. Find those links, not just of what we've funded here in Toronto at SickKids, but we do a lot of international work in China and partner with hospitals for children in China. So how do we talk more clearly about those partnerships and engage, those that have been in Canada for a while are really quite happy to give their money to SickKids when they're willing to give it. But those that are more newcomers are wanting to say, how can I also benefit my home country? It's something that's still happening. Many of my family are still in China. We really engaged volunteers within the community and what we see as key influencers to come on the campaign cabinet to help us shape and influence what our strategy might be in the community. And I have to say that those folks have been invaluable to us as we have got more integrated into the community and more involved. And then on the communication side, and I think this is something that we still very much struggle with, being truly authentic, which is if we're going to communicate in language, how do we respond in language? And we still, in my mind, have a huge gap on that front. We have only 4 Chinese-speaking people on staff at SickKids who can speak Cantonese and Mandarin and English, and so I'm realizing staffing a multicultural strategy is a completely different thing. I can use an external agency to do all that kind of communication and WeChat posting and all the rest of it, but if I can't then walk the walk internally when a donor calls me, I think that's still something that we're really struggling to figure out how to make that truly come to life and feel fully integrated in our everyday activities from a fundraising perspective. We have an amazing brand team, but my colleague Connie Lowe, who's leading the initiative at SickKids, came up with an amazing concept playing off some of the insights from Level 5, which was a blitz for 8 weeks in the community that we executed on September 1st. And her whole thing was about how do we be more grassroots? How do we get into the community? And how do we do a fully integrated campaign? So what that sort of 8 weeks community rally blitz has looked like has been a very targeted media buy, an engagement of 6 patient families from the community who actually have engaged in fundraising activities for us before. We asked them to be our patient ambassadors for the campaign. We did a full photo shoot with them. We engaged their families in storytelling on all sorts of channels. We finally launched our WeChat account. It took forever for us to figure out how to do that. We're the first charity in Canada to launch a WeChat account. We launched our in-language website. And at the same time, really to create some buzz, we engaged 40 restaurants and stores within the community to do a cause marketing campaign for us. We leveraged some insights that in the community there's a real desire to collect things, and we did some market research that teddy bears was a really exciting piece of collateral that we could engage, and it's amazing how much people want these bears. So we introduced 6 bears with SickKids messaging, sort of our believe, be brave, for hope type bears. and all of these restaurants either sold them or gave them away for a donation to SickKids. And so we think we'll raise about $400,000 in this period of time, which is far beyond the goal that we had set. But I think it was about being on the right channels, using our patient ambassadors from the community. We did very targeted out-of-home marketing where that child who was in that community was featured on that bus stop. So again, really clear target market for us. And we've received 3 or 4 phone calls a day on our hotline with corporate partners who are wanting to engage with us. So I'm feeling like we didn't do everything right, but we got at least part of it right. And it's been really exciting for us.